What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Gabos, and we back with another one. Remember, subscribe is the vibe. Your boy's on the road to 4K humbly. Yo, how we still here, bro? I gotta be objective with you guys because I'm just an objective person. You know, we're all entitled to our biasness and our beliefs. But I'm a type of person, I live my life like, bro, what's wrong is wrong. I'm not gonna be that individual to see something that's going wrong and still condone it and not voice an opinion, no matter if I know you or not, right? So I say all that to say, what the league is doing to LeBron James, man. What the league is doing to Lamar Jackson, bruh, is straight up wrong, and we know it is, bruh. Now we got the Falcons owner talks about Lamar Jackson. Missed games count a lot in our business. Evidently, if you've been living underneath a rock, long story short, Lamar Jackson wants a new contract. Baltimore Ravens refuses to give him the money that he's demanding because Baltimore's trying to reset the market. Lamar wants Deshaun Watson money. Deshaun Watson got $250 million. Baltimore's not trying to go up there, you know what I mean? And Baltimore is using every excuse in the book to not pay this man. So I'm hearing there about $100 million in differences. But listen, bro, do you believe that this would happen to any quarterback in the league? Now we got the Falcons owner talking about missed games count a lot in our business. Excuse me? Did Patrick Mahomes not dislocate his knee cap once upon a time and miss games? Did Josh Allen not miss a few games because of injuries in his career? Matter of fact, didn't Joe Burrow tear his ACL as a rookie? I'm pretty sure the Cincinnati Bengals is still going to pay him. You know what I mean? Kyler Murray, he's never missed games. I mean, Watson was suspended the whole year, right? Like, I know I don't live underneath a rock. And since we live in a business where we measure everybody with the same ruler, I'm trying to figure out why we measuring Lamar Jackson differently all of a sudden. Would this happen to any other franchise quarterback who wants to get paid? Now, I'm not the type of person to call race and throw race out there for every little situation. I'm not one of those. Come on, man. They doing this to any of the other quarterbacks? Now we're using Lamar Jackson's playing style against him, or we're concerned about his playing style. His playing style earned him an MVP. His playing style has the potential to win you a Super Bowl. But now when it's time to pay him, you have concerns. So we're going to check out what Pat McAfee and his boy AJ got to say about this ordeal, because, come on, man, you ain't going to fool me. I know what this smell like. Collusion.
Lamar's been tweeting about his situation publicly, kind of answering a lot of the questions that people and pundits are maybe throwing out there about Lamar Jackson. And he said, I don't remember me sitting out on my guys week 1 versus Jets to week 12 versus the Broncos. How come all of a sudden I sit out because of money in which I could have got hurt at any time within that time frame? When we know the Super Bowl been on my mind since April 2018, obviously when he got drafted. Let's get real. I'd rather have 100% PCL than go out there and play horrible, forcing myself to put my guys in a bad situation. Now that's selfish to me, which he would also probably get cooked for being washed if he was to go out there and play completely unhealthy. So what he was alluding to is, so for 12 weeks, I was not playing. I was not thinking about money. Like, where do we draw the line here? Kind of poking holes in some theories that have been said about Lamar, both by, I think, pundits and also fans of teams that don't necessarily want their team to spend whatever amount of money that has not been confirmed publicly yet to get Lamar Jackson there. AJ, do you enjoy this tactic from Lamar? I feel like getting his version of events out there and his thoughts out there is a good thing, especially because he's representing himself, and it's literally him versus the NFL right now almost when it comes to media and punditry and all of that type of stuff, AJ.
Yeah, I love that he's coming out in trying to be more vocal with this, because perception becomes reality. If you don't, he's in a weird spot, because if he's quiet and doesn't say anything, just goes about his business, people are just going to say crazy
all these
things.
Are true.
Yeah, and people assume it's true. So, and then you come out and talk, yeah, maybe it helps with some people. The good thing is Lamar seems to not care too much about what everything else is going on around him. He wants to play football. He wants to work it out. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm glad he's talking.
To your last point, though, I think that's what we're thinking, though. Like all the stuff that he has to do, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because he has nobody working for him right now.
He has no agent.
You know?
Because normally, if you had an agent, they'd be calling Shefty and Ian, be like, hey, they put these stories out. And Florio, all these different people, Schultze, you could call them and put things out that you're thinking or that's possibly the truth instead of whatever other people say.
Go ahead, Pac.
Yeah, I agree with you too, and we should know the number. Like, I think he said something really good. Mike said something really good earlier. I would put out the number that they offered.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because nobody
happened to
knows the
Pac-Man
number.
Jones'
We
lip?
all said, like, what is the number?
Hey,
All right,
yo.
you saying it's not 220 or 230.
Florio.
You saying it's not Florio. You saying it's not 200. Tell us what they offer and tell us a ballpark range, I would say. I don't know, because right now we don't know. Everybody's assuming, like, he wants 230. He wants the whole thing guaranteed.
Yo, listen, at the end of the day,
course.
I couldn't blame him if he didn't want less than Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson got about 230 mil, fully guaranteed. And Lamar Jackson don't have 27 sexual cases against him. I mean, let's be real. If he had criminal charges filed against him, you know, you got about 28 to 30 women complaining about some sort of inappropriate sexual act. And now I get it. You know, we live in a day and age where, you know, women come out and it's a very touchy subject. You can't critique these women because you don't know what the truth is. But let's just say all the Deshaun Watson apologists, let's just say half these women are lying. Like, all 28? Where were y'all before? All of a sudden, you guys are coming out talking shit about Deshaun Watson. Where were y'all before all this? Let's just say half. Let's just say half of the 28 is lying. That still leaves you with about 14 cases, man. What in the R. Kelly? But last time I checked, Lamar don't got none of that. And he can't get paid. All of a sudden, because Cleveland has raised the bar so high that owners are not trying to meet it, because all of a sudden, Lamar's playing style is working against him and all these criticisms. Like, listen, man, I'm going to keep it a bean. He's not helping this case by not having an agent, but we know what this is, bro. Half these leagues need a Lamar Jackson as their quarterback. All of a sudden, nobody interested?
Nigga, what? What the fuck going on here, nigga?
Of course, nobody want to sign a per game, $1 million per game. That means I got every game I play, I get $1 million. That's not guaranteed money.
Conversation of every contract is guaranteed money. That is literally that negotiation. This virtually practically guaranteed. You heard Florio talk about it. He's like, it's pretty much coming. It just got to wait a year. It's like, well, then pretty much should come now is how the player is always going to think about it. But what Florio was saying is like, all we've heard is Baltimore Ravens leaks of what the contract offer was. 133, another 80, this. If he had an agent, this is another thing that Florio is basically saying. If he had an agent, his reasoning on why he didn't accept the deal would be out there. Like, hey, this is it. This particular thing was in there that I didn't like. Just at least by somebody that has some sort of platform in sports. It's almost like a PR battle at this point because the only information that other teams can go from, if they're not talking directly to Lamar, is the public information that's coming through the insiders. Do you know how many team executives utilize these insiders for information about what's going on in all these different places? They're working all the time. That's why these insiders have the job that they have, AJ.
Yeah, that's why it also seems like a job I would never want to have because
Ever.
they're never off the clock. Not only are they always trying to break stories and get everything, but they're no matter what, there's never a day off. They're always gathering information if they're good at their job. And that's what these guys that we see breaking stories all the time and leaking things, not leaking, but letting us know kind of what's happening. Like they're just never off the clock. They're always on it. And those execs use these people very, it's precisely. They use them when they need them.
What did JJ say? If you're hearing anything right now, there's a reason you're hearing it.
Yep.
It's like that's the type of shit we're talking about behind the scenes, especially when we're talking about a couple $100 million guaranteed. Why not? Why not at least try to, get a little bit of assistance if it's not working out? But once again, he could still sign a deal that is very huge with a lot of guaranteed money. We still have time for that to happen. There's a lot of speculation on his business sense because a lot of the things that are happening aren't necessarily what normally happen in these situations. And a lot of us are talking about it as if like, who knows if this should be happening? We don't know. But there's a chance he still gets a deal done. Yeah. And we have to remember that. We hope that's the case. And I think that's all any of us are kind of wishing for.
With what Arthur Blank said about, like, I don't think there's a way that he can play the same way for 6 to 7 years. Do you think there's any thought that this might be a yearly thing too? Like he might be looking for a 6-year deal and the best they're offering is like a 4-year deal because of his play?
I think the 6-year deal just ups the guaranteed money to a place in which it can be. I think 5 years, 6 years is only there for that. I think per year, potentially a lot easier. But once again, that's a conversation that has to happen with a bunch of teams to make kind of happen. This is what Arthur Blank said at the league meetings. Falcons owner Arthur Blank said Tuesday the Lamar Jackson situation is very different from Deshaun Watson's last year, I'd say. Different player, different time. You have a winner in Jackson, an MVP in the league. There's no question he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Okay. So remember, he was in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. He wasn't in as much as the Cleveland Browns were. So everybody's saying just because the Falcons were in it, they should be in it as much as the Browns were. Remember, they backed off when the Browns said $230 million guaranteed. More from Arthur Blank, the founder of Home Depot, I believe, on Jackson. Looking at it objectively, I'd say there's some concern over how long he can play his style of game. Hopefully a long time. But he's missed 5-6 games each of the last 2 years. Each game counts as a lot in our business, which is a very real stat, especially at that position. That's from Josh Kendall, Josh the Athletic. This guy writes the shit out of some words.
That's what I'm saying. What quarterback hasn't missed games in the past couple of years? What, bro? Joe Burrow tore his ACL. I guarantee you, when his contract is up, which is probably after next season, he's gonna get what he asked for. He's going to get what the market demands. Who don't miss games? Like, I don't understand why the 5-6 games are being held against Lamar.
Thank you for reporting that. Joining us now is a man who might have some answers about what teams are thinking, more specifically what Arthur Blank just said. He's been a GM in the league. He's been a consultant in the league. He's been a part of 3 Super Bowls. He's an author, a speaker, a legend. Host of the Lombardi Line and the GM Shuffle. Writer for the Daily Coach, which I still receive every single morning, an email blast. An absolute icon, Michael Lombardi.
Pat, how are you? Nice to see everybody. I appreciate it. The Arthur Blank commentary was, to me, no one followed up with the question. No one asked Arthur Blank, like, why is this year different? The reason that Deshaun Watson's not an Atlanta Falcon is because of the guaranteed contract. The Cleveland, remember, Cleveland was told they're out. And the way they got back in was when they guaranteed all that money, or else he was going to be a Falcon. Everybody in Atlanta thought that. So for Blank to say that this is different than last year, it's ridiculous because he doesn't have a quarterback. He's in the NFC. There's no quarterbacks in the NFC. There's Jalen Hurts. There's Jared Goff. There's Kirk. There's Prescott. You could shift the balance of power with one move. And this rhetoric, well, we wanted to have a young quarterback. Last year you didn't want a young quarterback. You wanted to pay one. Like, it makes no sense to me how these NFC teams are not after Lamar Jackson. And I thought his commentary was ridiculous in the sense that you were willing to pay a guy who had a tremendous off-the-field problems, but now who was going to miss 12 games. You talk durability. He was going to miss 12 games, or at least. Remember, we were all guessing last year.
Assumed a year.
Yeah, a year.
Get him.
That didn't bother him last year, but now durability bothers him this year. To me, he's talking out of both sides. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense.
Why do you think they're doing that? Because they were one of the teams that tweeted from all of their insiders, pretty much, all the insiders that have a connection. Like, the Atlanta Falcons are not interested in Lamar Jackson. And yesterday, before Arthur Blank even spoke about the situation, they made it very publicly, Desmond Ridder is the starter, even though Heineke's down there. Why do you think it is? Do you think this is obviously everybody not wanting...
Imagine Lamar Jackson's available and you say, no, I want Desmond Riddler. I don't get it. Like, imagine, that just reminds me of Max Kettleman asking for Iguodala, bro.
Game on the line. One shot. Who would you rather have taking it, Iggy or Curry?
Of everyone on Golden State, open shot, fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, you better hit it. I want Iguodala.
Like, are you serious? You have Lamar Jackson available just sitting there waiting to get picked up, and you talking about Desmond Riddler.
To give him the guaranteed contract? And do we even know if that's what he wants? And how often do you think he's talking to these teams?
I think a lot of this, and I know Lamar tweets stuff out, and I know Lamar feels very comfortable with his position, but I think a lot of the problems in this, he doesn't have an agent. He doesn't have a buffer. He doesn't have somebody to help him along here. He doesn't have somebody who's able to put his spin of the story out or talk to teams. So all we hear is a narrative that's not an accurate narrative. So for me, I think it hurts him. Look, he sat in that green room for 31 picks. He was a better collegiate player than Trey Lance ever was. Trey Lance went third. He sat in that room because he didn't have an agent. He didn't have somebody promoting him, somebody helping him. I think it's really been a deterrent to not have that. I think it's a problem.
I couldn't say it any better, bro. Like I just hate the people that want to act like they're confused as to what's really going on. You know what I mean? And I get it. I'm gonna be real here. The owners it's a battle of business. The owners are trying to protect their investment. They're not trying to lose too much money. But this is what I got to say. For those teams that don't want to pay Lamar Jackson $230 million guaranteed, look at all the millions of money you paid to your current roster right now, and you don't win a championship. Remember, 31 teams don't win a championship every year. There can only be one winner. So you can make the argument that half these teams are just wasting money every year they don't capture a title. So what difference would it be if you took that same money and put into one person that could change your franchise? You picking up what I'm putting down? I'm sick of this place, bro. The NFL, as much as I love the NFL and I vouch for my teams and the players, the business is getting slimy to me, bro. The business is getting slimy to me because had this been Josh Allen, Mahomes, Joe Burrow, you know what I mean? Josh Allen doesn't even have an MVP. And you could arguably say that Lamar Jackson has won more games than Josh Allen. But Josh Allen is fully paid and covered. But it's just me. I'm trying not to get triggered. It's too early in the day. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this whole Lamar Jackson fiasco. They're violating my boy, man. There ain't too much I can say or do about it. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, he gonna get paid. So I ain't mad. But NFL's moving slimy. I'm gone.